Last year, a student from this campus set the record for the highest ever compensation offer from any Indian B school. Think of a number, add a couple of zeros to it so that you can be in the vicinity of the actual figure. We're talking about nothing less than 350,000 US dollars. That's right, in Indian Rupaya it must be something like 1,65 lakhs. Hi, I'm Ankit Vengurlekar and we are coming to you this week from the beautiful campus of IIM Calcutta. And you know what, just listening to those figures, even though they are from unconfirmed sources, I seriously think that I should enroll here right now.
It's no wonder those figures are astounding. IIM Calcutta, which was the first IIM to be established, is considered to be the best for finance management in India. The beautiful campus has 7 lakes and like the sleepy city it's in, it was still and pleasant during our stay there. Nothing to indicate that the college was ready for lying on campus.
At the end of season 1, IIM Calcutta ended up at the second last position. There's clearly a lot of work cut out for this year's students, and they have to race ahead of the peers so that they can redeem their lost glory. Talking of racing, the case study that IIM Calcutta faces is very aptly from Force India.
India's connection with Formula One was strengthened when Dr. Vijay Mallya bought out the Spiker F1 team in 2007 and renamed it Force India. F1 till then was followed only by a few TV spectators in India who fervently supported winning teams. Force India, on the other hand, took 29 races before it actually scored any points. Now the team is ranked 7th and is actively followed by a loyal fan base. But with the first ever Indian Grand Prix scheduled for October 2011, Force India wants to move into even higher gear.
With the Indian Grand Prix about less than a year away, it's important for us as a Formula One team to leverage the support in India and get the majority of the nation behind us before the Grand Prix takes place next October. The presentation and the case study focuses on how we as a team can achieve that and how we can get the right response and get people backing the team.
So the task for IIM Calcutta is to profile the Indian sports fan with particular insights on the F1 fan and deliver a practical action plan to Force India to leverage the Indian Grand Prix, in the process driving fan base and raising commercial value for the team.
Building an Indian Formula One team brand by leveraging the Indian Grand Prix. That is some offbeat case study. Let's take a look at the two teams from IIM Calcutta that will be changing gears in the driver's seat.
This team's name was quite a mouthful. Spoofing Spider-Man, they called themselves "With great power comes great electricity bill." I think we'll stick to great power.
I'm an active participant in quizzing and dramatics on campus. On the other hand, Darwin is the General Secretary of the Students' Council. Anirudh also heads the Experiential Marketing Club of the campus. Our fundamental focus was on how to leverage the brand, that is Force India's presence in the country, to increase fan following for it, and thus leverage presence for the sport as such in India. We're okay with the 3-minute cap. We've done our homework. We're pretty cool with going ahead tomorrow.
Our team name is Kotler's Kids. We just wanted a very big opening balance on brand equity, for which we took Kotler on our side.
This team has placed their money on their team composition. Though all engineers, they believe that they have strong individual skills required for this marketing case study.
Our team makes a good winning team because Aditya, he has very good oratory skills. He has won many debate competitions outside. Vikas is very good strategist. I'm good at math and design, the look and feel part of it. Our strengths complement each other and we have an edge.
We're having a 3-point footer volley game over here. Now, footer volley is a unique indigenous IIM sport, of course, which has taken inspiration from the popular Southeast Asian sport called Sepak. All right, it's one love. And team with great power comes great electricity will is leading with true love. Team with great power comes great electricity. Bill has won the challenge. 3-0 was a clean sweep. So team with great power comes great electricity. Bill is going into the presentation arena first. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
We have tried to define the DNA of Indian sports fan and the DNA of F1 fan in India, and also we have tried to associate acts with the present case study.
Lessons in Marketing Excellence Campus Round is all set to flag off from IIM Calcutta with the Force India case study. Let's meet the judges this evening.
I'm Siddhartha Malia, and I'll be looking for new ideas and ways to promote India's first Formula One team, Force India, ahead of the 2011 Indian Grand Prix.
I am Prashant Perez from HUL, and what I will be looking for from IIM Calcutta today as they present on Force India is whether they've applied the concepts they've learned and then pushed the boundaries and come up with some ideas that really take us by surprise.
Hi, I'm Anuradha, and I think IIM Calcutta must have had the most fun online this season. Imagine having to come up with a marketing plan for a Formula One team. What can be more fun and more adrenaline pumping than that? So let's see if they've got the ideas to get our adrenaline pumping this season.
The first team this evening has a very interesting name. With great power comes great electricity bills. Your 3 minutes start now. All the best.
Average Indian sports fans profiles as follows. We identified 6 fundamental attributes of the sports fan. Inclination towards superior performance. We tend to support teams which perform and win more. Unconditional patriotism. We also tend to support anyone who represents India. Icon worship, illustrated by worshipping Tendulkar and the likes of it. Cultural connect. Sports has a lot of cultural connect in India. Primarily, as you can see, the Olympic oath was derived from the Atharva Veda. Intense devotion. We take our sport very seriously, sometimes even more than our cats. Tendency to seek social acceptance. This is illustrated by the recent bust in EPL following, where a lot of the youth is taken to EPL as from social acceptance. The process below illustrates the process by which someone evolves into a proper sports fan. Situation involvement, attachment, and enduring involvement leads to identity salience with a particular sports team. Once you derive some kind of emotional satisfaction from it, you end up in attending sports games. That's the process. We also have the age demographic and the socioeconomic classification for fans in different sports groups. This is what we'll call a DNA of the average Indian F1 fan. Believed to be in the age of, say, 22 to 24, predominantly male, educated from Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities. They have an affluent lifestyle belonging to Sec A and B classes. High levels of consumption, they're internet savvy, they are on Facebook and other stuff all the time. They're fundamentally patriotic in respect to sports, illustrated by someone like Naren Karthikeyan's entry into F1. And they're also very loyal towards winners and successful drivers, like we've emphasized before. Unparalleled support for Michael Schumacher ever since he's been driving all these years. So, some other interesting tidbits. 2009 F1 season, TV viewership was say 25 million Indians, 12% increase, and around 10,000 Indians witnessed it live at Singapore. Strengthening Force India's Desi roots. These are certain measures that we believe we should take. Change the color of the jersey and the car to blue. We'd connect more with the team. Launch a theme song and mascot. We're very emotional and some kind of cultural connect is there, so that would be strengthened. Apart from that, racing scholarships. One test driver to be Indian. Institute India's biggest F1 fan. Nominate something like ball boys at Wimbledon. And of course, F1 trump cards and Sachin Tendulkar to wave the checkered flag.
So I'll quickly take you through how we are looking to engage and actually bring in the kind of audience we want both for F1 as well as for Force India. Firstly, we are looking at a YouTube channel, a podcast channel, and games like Formula One management games, which our target group are the kind of people who actually use these things. Clubforce.gp is already in place with the forums and the fans. what we're looking at is even more content specific to the Indian GP, ranging from merchandise to online simulations. So I'll take it very quickly through in terms of some specific activities. We're looking at theme parks and lounges, something called like Full Throttle, to give a place for F1 fans to come together specifically for Force India and the Indian GP. And again, the corporate social responsibility is something which will be very important, and in the form of road safety workshop is something where F1 again can come in and Force India pitching this. The last thing we want to talk about is an association with ACT. ACT is something, the target group is the kind of people young in college who we want to attract early into the sport. So, and they also considering that ACT, the appeal is for the fairer sex, and that the connection to racing cars and is something that really appeals to them and so connects with ACT. So an example would be, say, a typical TVC which you would get of ACT. A Force India driver winning a race, a horde of women fans rushing towards him, struggling with security, breaking through. But again, not just going to the driver, but going behind the driver to basically a race marshal who has been from the Force India team.
Thank you.
Force India is part of which organization in India?
United Breweries.
What does United Breweries do?
Sell alcohol.
Yes. What are the main sponsors on the Force India car?
Kingfisher.
Apart from that?
Alliance and ABG.
What is the big one on the side? White and Mackay. What is White and Mackay? A whiskey. What can you not do in this country? Advertise booze. And you're talking to me about a tie-up with an aftershave when we've got all these other brands within the group which we cannot advertise any other way. What could you do to leverage that?
That's where our idea about the Full Throttle idea, where you have F1 theme parks and lounges and bars. It's not just sports bars, but specific to Formula 1, and which could have a Force India flavor to it. So that's one place where, if suppose you have, say before the Indian Grand Prix, a month before when the track is inaugurated, if you have a party sponsored by, thrown by, say, White and McKay. So that's one possible avenue where we could leverage the brand.
We're definitely not leaving out White and McKay and Kingfisher from part of our plan. They're also as much part of it as Axis. We're just placing them in a different place at Full Throttle with theme parks, the lounges. Also, brand presence at IPL4. So we're looking at, say, the bigger picture as well there.
So is the Axe campaign opportunistic because you knew you had an HUL juror and a UB juror? I mean, what is it? You know, we're not getting the fascination with Axe. But anyway, why you haven't thought of recommending the fact that Force India invests or backs an Indian driver? Isn't that something that would bring in the Desi Connect and the Indian face to the sport?
We cannot directly, like if I tell you tomorrow, like our main driver should be Indian, it's not really realistic. Ultimately, the team has to win first. So rather than that, let's get one test driver to be Indian first. Try to develop that connect as he progresses.
But we evaluated Naren Karthikeyan, who's doing NASCAR now, and Karun Chandok, who's just lost a team. Did you evaluate all that?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is that both of them sort of had a chance at it, and since it's already happened that they haven't been able to keep that successfully, it would be a little hard to say give them a chance directly.
So you would not recommend that Force India back one of our current Indian drivers for the Grand Prix that's going to happen in India next year? Yes or no?
No. A fan who, let's say, today says, I love cricket. What is the thought process you want him to go through to suddenly make him change to becoming an F1 fan?
We'll have a lot of kids who say, I love cricket, but for a lot of people, it's just, I love India winning. So that one thought process can be taken from cricket and applied to any sport. In this case, we'll be looking at Force India as that channel.
Force India may not always be winning.
They might not always win, but right now, considering that it's on the way up, and with the Indian Grand Prix coming in, there's a lot of room to leverage that specific idea. The idea of India being involved in Formula 1 in a big way now. So look at India becoming part of Formula 1 more and more. So which is also a matter of pride for me as an Indian, because I see this as an international sport where India is now making its mark.
Ultimately, we didn't win much in cricket for a long time. But we still, were hoping that India would be winning, and we still kept following. We're trying to transpose that belief onto F1.
Right, let's have a big round of applause. Thank you, judges. Thank you, team. Don't forget to tune in to limeonline.in to catch all the campus action, not just from IIM Calcutta, but each and every campus that we travel to.
We had different plans for the brands of UB group as well, and maybe with the time constraint we were not able to complete all of them, but I think we managed to pull that through in the question and answer session. So we felt Axe also could fit in this particular process because of the reasons that they're also edgy and they're also about attracting the fairer sex.
Sports marketing is quite an offbeat vertical for B school students. We'll find out how Team 2 performs right after this break.
This is definitely a difficult case study considering F1 has not totally picked off in India.
IIM Season 2 is on campus. We are at IIM Calcutta this week and they are facing a unique sports marketing challenge from the Force India F1 team. We saw Team 1 present here before the break and now we have with us Kotler's Kids, the second team. Take it away, guys.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Team Kotler's Kids presenting on how to build Force India. Before elaborating on the strategies to build Force India, let's consider the profile of the Indian F1 fan. He is urbane, social, highly educated, wants to stay ahead on the style and the technology curve. During our research, we came across the following 7 segments of the F1 follower market in India. The first 5 that you see in red, these are the hardcore fans. And it's very expensive to evangelize them. Because, first of all, they are already followers of some or the other sport or rather some or the other team. And they are like hardcore fans of that team. And secondly, F1 is not a live event in India. What we suggest is, we should be targeting the last 2, that is eyeballs and the uninitiated. Now these represent the vast untapped potential of the market. Eyeballs are the people who regularly follow the sport on TV, and the uninitiated are the urban, middle class, educated people who are aware of the sport but do not follow it. So the strategy that we suggest for targeting these 2 segments is based on experience, education, fun, and the India Connect, the emotional connect. Experience Force India. How do you experience Force India? Force India, or rather F1, is considered too distant and elite. So we need to take it to the masses. So we should have car racing on Indian roads, and which is successfully done by Red Bull. We can also have demonstrations in major expos and college fests. And one thing which we believe is neglected by a lot of constructors is the mobile strategy. So we have very widely popular PC games for F1 racing, but we do not have a mobile game. So Force India perhaps can take the lead in developing such a game which can educate as well as entertain. So how do you associate fun with Force India? Simple, associate with sports bars, clubs, amusement parks, and you should also sponsor extreme sports like canoeing, paragliding to emphasize the thrill element. Now, the India Connect. We believe that the positioning of Force India should be based on the technological and the economic resurgence of India. It should communicate to the people that it is driving India to hitherto unknown territory, which has been the preserve of the rich and the technologically advanced nations. And having a sports celebrity, a celebrity to promote sports is always good. Sachin Tendulkar, with his identification of Force India values of sophistication and excellence, and his past association with F1 due to the Michael Schumacher incident, is an ideal bet. Now, as time moves on, people will move from the blue category to the red category. They will become hardcore F1 fans. And there, you need to engage them in a different manner altogether. Over there, we need to give them ways and means to express themselves through memorabilia, through bumper stickers, license plate holders, and different stuff. And over the long term, we know it's not easy, but we need to build Indian heroes. Force India is already doing driver development program through go-karting and other rally competitions. And it is important because 40% spike in Indian F1 viewership was witnessed after Karun Chandok joined as a driver. Finally, we come to the brand salience wheel. Force India should make a person feel patriotic, as sophisticated and aspirational.
You know, you said Red Bull's Bandra Worley ceiling demo. You've then also gone on and talked about sponsoring extreme sports like canoeing and paragliding. That is the Red Bull marketing strategy. So basically, you're telling us, we might as well change our name to Red Bull.
It is not a strategy which is like monopolized by someone. So basically, it is bringing out the thrill element of F1.
You're saying it doesn't matter even if Red Bull has done it internationally because they don't have salience here. Is that what you're saying?
Thrill is a characteristic of F1 and not of Red Bull. That's what we are trying to bring in over here.
Agreed, but then, so then are you saying events like the canoeing and the paragliding or is something that should be a Force India event or one of our sponsors' events?
We believe it should be Force India events because, again, like Kingfisher is fine about the fun element, but the thrill and the excitement associated with extreme sports, that's Force India. That's F1.
I'd pick on this one point is, you know, sponsor other extreme sports. If I was the marketing manager of Force India, can I justify a cost like that? Is that going to really get people thinking about Formula One?
We find influencers of F1 who frequent clubs and extreme sports and sports bars, and influencers will get us the next level of fans to Force India.
Sir, any sports brand needs its small band of influencers, or rather the people who will make the opinions for other people. And they will be the ones who will comment on blogs. They will be the ones who will maybe write on Facebook pages about what they witnessed in Force India associated event. And that will be the ones which will set the buzz ringing.
So if you're talking about people who are not initiated into Force 1 and you're going to bring them into Force 1, what would you define as your competition?
If we see the need, consumer need for people who are uninitiated, for the live spectators, it is the need to have an entire entertainment package. It is not just watching F1 live. So our competition will be all the amusement parks, whatever is kind of providing entertainment and a chance for the family to go on an outing. That is the competition for the live spectators. For the TV spectators, our TV spectators want to experience riveting F1 action on and off the field. So over there, our competition is against cricket or any sport or anything which maybe even reality show which kind of provides an alternate viewing experience. So in that sense, our competition is actually very broad. But thing is that if we define it in a narrow sense, there are other car constructors which we believe principally McLaren and Ferrari, because they have a huge fan following because of the success they already had.
Talking about giving away keychains, bumper stickers, license plates, there's almost so much you can give away before you're going to bankrupt yourself. So I want to know, come the race next year, how those people are going to buy the merchandise, because they have the passion for the team, they're going to go and buy it. You know, you can give everyone in the seat a red t-shirt and then the whole stadium will be red and gold like Royal Challengers. It doesn't make you any cash. At the end of the day, this marketing has to be something that not only focuses the brand, but it's going to give you something revenue as well.
We did not mean basically giving out, just distributing. Yeah, keychains and these things can be given out, but while browsing across the Facebook pages and different other brand Force India pages, we noticed a striking lack of access for the fans for Force India memorabilia. So we thought that perhaps this is one place the distribution network needs to work on. Yes, sir, I agree. We do not have a metric by which we can say, fine, okay, you will have revenue after this year by giving out this. But then I think that's small items like t-shirts and this thing can be a worthwhile investment too.
Team Butler's kids, well done. So both the teams have presented on the Force India marketing case study. It's all up to the judges now. Give us a couple of minutes. They're going to help us decide which team clinches the challenge here at IIM Calcutta.
Questions were tough, particularly Siddharth Malia's questions were very relevant and insightful. So we had to think on our feet, and I think we did a decent job.
It was a close call, but in the end, the judges weighed the presentations on the scale of implementability and cost effectiveness.
Well, the results are here. Ernst & Young has helped us tabulate, and the judges have spoken. The team that wins this particular challenge at IIM Calcutta is Kotler's Kids. Well done. So we'll hear from Siddhartha why did he think Kotler's Kids was the better team?
Your ideas were feasible ideas. They weren't outlandish ideas. They were ideas, for example, taking the car on a roadshow around colleges and campuses, doing events in 4 different cities around the country, which are ideas which are simple, easy to execute, and aren't going to have a big cost bearing, and which ultimately could have big results.
So another fantastic campus round challenge comes to an end. It's wrap up here from IIM Calcutta. We'll see you next week from another campus with another interesting marketing case study. Remember, tune in to limeonline.in to catch all the action, not just from this campus, but from every other campus that we go to. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week from yet another campus with yet another exciting real-life marketing case study.
This has happened at a totally different scale, and this is the first time we are experiencing such a competition at such a high stage.